Hello, so it's come to my attention that there's no videos on YouTube showing you how to repair a golf shaft in that, like repairing the paint. So I have here a Ping G3, a Ping G10 3-wood, and as you can see the shaft is suffering from some bag rub. So I'm going to show you how to repair it yourself. So the first thing I've done is to mark off the area where I'm going to sand it. So I need to create like an abrasive surface for the primer and the paint to stick to. So I'm going to run over this with probably a 120 grit sandpaper just to rough up the old paint so that the primer will stick. Okay, so I've roughed it up. I ended up using 80 grit sandpaper. It's just a little bit more abrasive than the 120. The 120 was kind of just smoothing the shaft. It wasn't really making it scored for the primer to stick. So you can kind of see it's gone a kind of slightly whiter colour because I've kind of taken the top layer of paint off. I've also got a driver here. I'm doing the same thing. But that's already a black painted shaft, so it's a wee bit more obvious that it's kind of greyed out a wee bit more. The top end of the shaft's still black and shiny. So next step is I'm going to use masking tape and probably plastic bags to cover the bits of the club that I'm not going to be painting, just so the primer and the paint doesn't stick to any bits I don't want it to. Right guys, so I have masked up all the areas of the club, not particularly well having said that, but they're not, all the areas that are not getting primed and painted are covered up so they don't get any primer or paint on them, so that's pretty much good to go. I'm just going to get my driver done with the same sort of process, and then we'll move on to the priming and the painting. So, all important, what I've got here is plastic primer. I'll probably, don't know if that's going to switch the image, but plastic primer basically has a little bit of allowance for flex, and obviously a golf shaft moves during the golf swing, so you kind of need that. I've also got plastic bumper paint from Halfords. So if you're not in the UK, Halfords is like a sort of bicycle slash car repair shop. And so my cousin recommended using bumper paint. He's a mechanic, just because it does allow that little bit of flex, so hopefully the paint won't kind of flake off and crack, but we'll soon find out because it's a bit of an experiment. So I've just applied the primer. Looks pretty uniform all the way around, so I'm pretty happy with that. So we're all done. I ended up putting 2 coats of primer and then 2 coats of the black paint. So as you can see, it doesn't look all too bad. I've tested the kind of flex as well. It doesn't seem to cause any cracking or little marks in the paint from the bending of the shaft, which is always good, and that's why you choose bumper paint instead of standard paint. It's not the most professional job you'll have ever seen, but it has done the job, so hopefully that helps somebody out. Best of luck if you intend on trying it yourself.